Hey guys, Crystal Grace here. Welcome back to another pick a card reading. This one is all about what makes you intimidating. So we have 3 piles to choose from, 1, 2, and 3. Quick disclaimer while you're picking your pile, please trust that I do not set intentions to put you on a downward spiral. So if a reading begins to make you feel in a negative energy, please opt off of the reading. Trust that the reading is not for you, or maybe my platform is not for you. Okay, and that's okay. So with that said, let's jump into it. Let's find out what makes you intimidating. Alrighty, pile number 1, welcome to your readings. We have determination, intention to achieve. It definitely gives strong strength card vibes, doesn't it, with the lion and the woman. So maybe we've got some Leos in the house. I definitely feel like you have a very strong-willed energy about you. I definitely feel like you might have a very strong-looking physique. You're very strong-willed. So I think a lot of you have a lot of willpower. So you may intimidate people by the ability to walk away from addiction, things that don't serve you, know when to heal, like know when to pull your energy back and know when to take action. Like you seem very well put together here with this determination card. And I feel like you're very protective of your own energy. Like your spirit animal could be a lioness here, or you could be a Leo, as mentioned. But I definitely feel like you're very flexible, but not in a way where people can walk all over you. So discernment is also coming through. Like I feel like a lot of you have mastered the ability for to know how to use discernment or when to use it. I think saying you could do yoga, Pilates, some kind of like gymnastics here, not all of you, but you seem to be very flexible in the legs, maybe flexible in the shoulders. You may like to sit cross-legged in nature, but yeah, that's sort of what I'm getting. So we're going to jump into it. We're just going to throw ourselves right in there. These cards are massive. I can never, that was terrible. I can never shuffle these cards because they're so big. So we will take reversals. Why is pile number 1 intimidating? Whoa. She can plan out. All right, so I'll just check that camera. It's good. Alrighty, so we have the Hanged Man or Hang One in reverse, the Knight of Cups, the High Priestess in reverse, 7 of Coins, 6 of Cups. So strong Pisces, strong Cancer energy here. Knight of Cups, maybe Scorpio, Libra. 7 of Pentacles is Taurus energy. And 6 of Cups is Scorpio energy. So you don't have to correlate with those sign placements, but I know I know a lot of you like to have some you know, yelled out. Right. What makes you intimidating? So thinking about the Hangman, right? When it's in reversal, I kind of get this, like, so in the upright, I would say what makes you no, actually, in the reversal, I feel like what makes you intimidating is your ability to disconnect, your ability to identify negative patterns in people. So with the High Priestess here, let's kind of jump over here. It's going to seem a little bit off center because I'm going to jump from here to here, I guess, but normally I like to read the cards along here, but YOLO. I feel like, because the High Priestess in reverse would talk about somebody ignoring their intuition. But I don't feel like that with you. I feel like people are intimidated by you because you're able to identify negative patterns through tapping into your intuition. So people feel intimidated by you is because you can read energy, you can read minds. I feel like when somebody's thinking, you can read what they're thinking, is what I feel. So people are intimidated by that, whether or not they're aware that you can do that. But what they are aware is they're intimidated by you is because you can sense negative patterns. You can sense when somebody is doing something wrong. You know when somebody's becoming very disinterested in you. So before they ghost you, you ghost them. Okay? I feel like with the High Priestess though, is like people are intimidated by you is because you don't ignore red flags. You can depict deceptive behavior. Like if somebody's about to be deceitful, you are already 10 steps ahead of them. That's what makes you intimidating. People can't fool you. When they try and fool you, you've already fooled them. Is why people find you intimidating. I also feel what makes you intimidating is you have secrets and knowledge about, you know, worldly things, spiritual things. People are very scared by that. If you're into, you know, the occult, esoteric things, people are very intimidated by your witchy woo-woo energy, okay? And so they should be, rightfully so. Because I definitely feel like, you know, if you are that way inclined, you don't, like, people who are spiritually connected, like tapped in, they don't use that for... I'm not going to go there actually, because some people do use it for not great things, but I'm not going to keep saying that. Anyway, yeah, so that's couple of things there in regards to what makes you intimidating. Now with the Knight of Cups, believe it or not, pile one, your charm, right, intimidates people. So you have a very beautiful energy, like you have a very soft, like very maybe like girl boy next door kind of physique, personality, and I think this intimidates people because people fall in love with you very easily. So why people get intimidated by that, I would say romantic suitors who pursue you get intimidated by other people who are interested in you, other suitors, because you have the ability to sweep people off their feet through conversation, just in your presence, the way you look at people. Like you really listen to people, people feel heard. When people feel heard, like it's hard to make people hate you. So the intimidation here, what makes you intimidating is when people maybe try and get one up on you. They can't, because everyone around you has a tendency to like you and talk good of you, talk good about you. So there is this sense of intimidation because of your very charming nature, and maybe your flirtatious nature here with the Knight of Cups. People find that intimidating to try and like rain on your parade. On the flip side of that, Knight of Cups would indicate people find when you flirt with them, they get intimidated. So you could be very, very attractive and people feel intimidated by your level of attraction. We've already touched on the High Priestess. So 7 of Pentacles. I definitely say people are intimidated by your ability to work as hard as you work. So you guys stop at nothing until you start reaping the rewards from, you know, whatever it is you're working on. Until you start seeing progress, you don't let up. And people find that very intimidating. I think there's a lot of people at work who find your work ethic intimidating here with the 7 of Cups. Your level of patience is also being highlighted here with the 7 of Pentacles. Like you can't be rushed. And people don't like that. When people are very patient and happy to just go with the flow and take things as they come, they're very hard to manipulate. Like there's not enough opportunity to manipulate because things are moving at snail's pace. So people find that intimidating. You're not a fool. You don't rush into things. You're very stable in the mind. You have sound mind opinions. Like you seem very like earthly, very grounded is what I'm hearing. If you have had a lot of success or you've had some recent positive rewards or positive results, people are intimidated by that. People are intimidated by your potential. Okay, so if they potentially see you as somebody who's got great business ideas, great work ethics, gonna go far, they get intimidated by that. So you might be around a lot of people who are insecure. And then we have this beautiful Six of Cups energy in regards to what makes you intimidating. I definitely feel like you have this very comfortable energy. I think this kind of ties back in with the Knight of Cups, if I had to be brutally honest. I feel like there's a healing energy here with the Six of Cups as well. So people might find your energy quite intimidating because what I'm hearing is you shine a mirror or you reflect a mirror back on people's poor behavior. You may be intimidating to people because you force them to revisit their childhood, for them to be aware of why they act the way they act. So I think you guys may call people out for bad behavior. Again, kind of coming back here to the Hanged One, like you ghost people before they ghost you. And I feel like with this Six of Cups, like you force people to heal. You force people to go within, kind of like hermit energy. And is sort of what I'm feeling. Like you push people onto a path where they need to have a long, hard look at themselves in order to move forward. There is this energy about forgiveness as well. So you may intimidate people because you're not afraid to forgive. You don't tend to hold grudges. Like you can continue carrying on with your life even though people try and do wrong by you. Like I think people find it very intimidating that you're not bothered by them. And I feel like with the Six of Cups, you probably endured a lot of problems as a child, dealing with like maybe toxic, school kids or stuff like that. Or maybe it's like, people chop and change, whether like the sides of the, the song coming through is New Romantics with Taylor Swift. And it's like she's singing about... what is it? It's like singing, I think it's like surrounding from high school, but like people will side with one person one day and the next day they're going to jump to another person's side and side with them. Like, Team Joe and Team Rhonda, like that kind of vibe. And I feel like with the Six of Cups, you intimidate people because you give zero fucks about whose side they take. Like you're a one-man band, right? You're very determined in protecting yourself, your energy field, and I think that wholeheartedly intimidates people. So that is what I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Hey, pile number 2, welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose card number 18, home, safe haven, comfort zone. I feel like you guys are very homebodies. You could be spending a lot of time in the home at the moment. You could be choosing like comfort over discomfort. So I see you spending more time in comfy clothes as opposed to, wearing mini skirts, tight fitted clothing. I also feel like, or I see some of you really investing time and energy, maybe money into your home, trying to make it more of a safe home. So maybe putting up security cameras, padlocks on gates, like a doorbell camera, being a bit vigilant when it comes to your safety in the home as well. So You know, some of you could have been leaving your hair straightener on and that sort of stuff is what I'm picking up. But I feel like for a lot of you, home is where the heart is. Some of you could be missing home at the moment. You could be really far away from home. You could be traveling. You know, some of you may feel very far away from home. So starseed energy coming through here. So you may actually feel like you are missing your home planet. And maybe you're trying to find yourself as well, some of you. Maybe you feel like you've kind of gotten a bit lost along the way. So retreating from society and certain communities, you're spending a lot more time alone in the home is what I feel, in order to sort of maybe get your happy back or get back on track is what I'm feeling. So if that resonates, great. Let's jump into it. Let's find out what makes you intimidating. We have the World. It's too many. Empress. Girl of Cups is Page of Cups. We have lots of three major arcana here. We've got the Star, four major arcana, and the Hermit. Alrighty. Makes you intimidating. The World card in reverse. I don't know. It's a card that will talk about lack of success, stagnation, like lack of achievement. But what I feel, it's like you intimidate people because you don't really care. You're not a person chasing money, I feel. You're not a person chasing fame. You're not a person chasing achievement. So you could be around a lot of people who are like keeping up with the Joneses, need to always look the part. And I feel like what makes you intimidating is you're not doing that. Okay? I feel like with the World in reverse, you're intimidating people because you're not following the masses around in your community. You pulled your energy back. So everyone is over here doing, you know, chasing money bags, and you're over here chasing like butterflies. Do you know what I mean? Or you're over here MIA in home, not doing anything. And that's sort of what the vibe is. So why that's intimidating is because you don't allow your success to define you. So it's not to say that you guys aren't successful, you don't have money in the bank. It's to say that you are very modest in the sense that people around you don't know what you have. And some of you may actually go out of your way and put people on different paths as to figuring out your level of success, but you don't. So I feel like people are very intimidated at the fact that you have a lot, but you don't show it. Like you may dress poor, but you're actually really rich. That kind of energy is what makes you intimidating. You don't show people your cards, is what I hear. And people find that intimidating because you must be in an environment where everyone around is boasting about themselves and what they're doing, and they're doing this, and you are very quiet. You're very silent. And that, you know, as they always say, watch the quiet ones. And that's the vibe I'm getting with the World in reverse. So the Empress in reverse. I actually feel like for some of you, the Empress in reverse, what makes you intimidating, some of you could be childless, right? You are not chasing the white picket fence dream. Okay, you choosing a different path in life. Naturally, this is making people intimidated because they're bunked down with kids and a husband, daily grind, nothing changes. A lot in your life seems to be changing. If you do have kids, then I feel like what intimidates people is I don't know, maybe you don't have, what's the word? there's something not traditional about maybe you, right? And maybe if you do have kids, what makes you intimidate? Like you could teach your kids homeschooling, right? You could have your kids in Steiner schools. So I don't know if Steiner schools are across the world, but they're like, I think they're like German. Are they German or Dutch based? Or are they South African? One of them. They're one of those countries school. So correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me with whatever one it came from in the comments if you like. But they run their schools very differently to how the other Australian schools run. And it's more like the preschools and stuff, from what I am aware of, they're more hands-on, and parents go and spend the day at the preschool with the kids. They don't just drop them off and leave them alone and then come back, 12 hours later. The parents are encouraged to go and spend time with the children doing creative arts and stuff like that. There are Steiner high schools. They're very hard to find though in Australia. But yeah, they're just ran differently. So I kind of get that impression with the Empress in reverse. If you are a parent, you parent differently, and this intimidates people because they don't understand your style. They probably fear it because you probably don't have your child wrapped up in bubble wrap. You probably don't have your child like with all these strict rules and all these boundaries in place. You may look at like the butterfly example. I feel like you intimidate people because you allow your children to flourish in a very limitless environment is probably the easiest way to explain how I'm feeling. And they envy that. So it's not just intimidation, part two. There's a sense of envy here. Like you don't seem to be insecure or lack confidence in your choices as a mother or as a parent here. Is what I feel. And for others of you, if that neither of that's resonating, it's like you have you have an unstable career, and people feel very intimidated by that because you seem to have this very carefree persona, even though when you don't know when your next dollar's coming in. But that could be the fact that you've saved really well and you've got money in the bank. They wouldn't know because you don't show what you've got to offer. Page of Cups in reverse. I don't know. I feel like, because insecurity is another concept with the Empress, and so is the Page of Cups. And like when I think back to the World in reverse, like it can talk about an incomplete, like an emptiness. So that, and when I think about somebody feeling like empty, it's a sense of insecurity. So you may make people feel insecure because you may intimidate people solely on the basis that they try and make you feel insecure with their shiny objects and their success, but you don't. Like, I think the way you respond to people boasting about it, you smile and you're really genuinely happy for them. Oh, wow, that's amazing. Like, you've done really well. Like, you've deserved that. Even though that that they haven't worked for, maybe a day in their life for some of these people. Their partner has put everything on the table that is before them. So that's sort of what I'm picking up with the Page of Cups and this insecurity energy. Like, they're intimidated because it doesn't matter how much they try and disappoint you, make you feel insecure. It doesn't affect you, right? Like you neglect their projections on you to try and make you feel less than, and that intimidates them. And the reason why that intimidates them is because they're trying to use you as a stepping stool to make themselves feel better about themselves. But I don't know, maybe you're very good at being passive aggressive. So how you retaliate and respond to, I guess, their put downs, because they could be very passive aggressive to you, but you kind of backfire. It's like they throw rocks, you throw rocks, but they can't tend to take the smile off your face or something like that. Let me know down in the comments what this is about, because it's very intriguing. People may feel intimidated about you because you make them realize they're emotionally immature, is what I feel. I think when people try and come for you, it's like if somebody says something that seems real off-putting, I kind of feel like you're more inclined to say, are you okay? Like, that's not a normal thing to like say. That's not a normal reaction to this conversation. And it's like condescending in a way. It's like you're putting them down, but no one in this like inner circle watching this could see you were putting them down, and that's what intimidates them. So these could be like mums at schools, parents at schools, that sort of environment is what I'm picking up. And then to the star, like the star definitely tells me why you intimidate people is because the star is within itself, right? There is something very, well, we do pick up like the star seed energy. There's something like quite worldly about you, or out of this world about you is probably the better way of saying that. Because it is in the upright. I want to so this talks about, these two cards also talk about creativity, right? In the upright. This card heavily talks about creativity as well. So have you got some form of stardom in something creative that you do? It could be content that you create. We do have strong healing energy as well connected to the star, but I think for a majority of you intimidate people through something creative that you are building or that you are working on. I feel if you are a spiritual person, your spirituality definitely intimidates people here, but your what's the word I'm looking for? Your ability to not be offended or not take on other people's opinions of you is very intimidating. And I think a lot of you have a lot of people trying to mold you into something that you can't be molded into. So you could be around a lot of pretentious sort of people. They want you to join their like pretentious little community, but you can't. Like, you're off over here doing your own thing. And I feel like a lot of you have some kind of creative outlet. It's very inspirational. You could be kind of famous for it, and this intimidates people. And then we have the Hermit, which, you know, kind of reiterates this energy of the star, right? Because the Hermit is talks about spiritual enlightenment. Somebody who's gone down the path of soul searching and really understands who they are. It's also about a person who has like no issue being alone, right? Who's more than happy to be isolated and feel loneliness and withdrawal. It's also a card in the reversal that you make people feel intimidated because you don't care about their rejection. You don't care that they might make you feel like an outcast because you're happy to be antisocial anyway, especially at this point in time. Like, if people try and put restrictions on you, you're absolutely fine with that. And I think this is what makes people intimidated, because they might try and, they might try and steal your friends away or isolate you, but you're absolutely fine with that. Like, their behavior is not going to put you down the path of feeling paranoid, because you genuinely don't care. You genuinely want to be home alone. If you've got kids, home alone with your kids. You genuinely just sort of focusing on yourself at this time. And I think this is what intimidates these people, because you're not afraid to be alone. You're not afraid to feel lonely. And I feel genuinely for a lot of you, if you are starseed aligned, you can never feel alone, because you can feel the spirit realm around you. Like, it doesn't matter how hard you try to be alone, you'll never be alone, because the spirits are with you all the fucking time. You know, your connection to your home planet is there all the time. It's really hard to explain, but if you vibe with that, you vibe with it. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Like, you know, sometimes you've got to tell your spirit guides, leave me alone, like, you know, but they don't. They're just always there at your beck and call, which is such a blessing. So that is all I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. Those of you who chose the abundance card, state of plenty, love it. Card number 15, this is your reading. All right. You guys might look really good in halter tops, halter neck tops. You have a very nice torso. You have very long, luscious hair. I feel very connecting to your reading very differently to the others. I think you intimidate, like I feel like your beauty heavily intimidates people, and you know this. If that doesn't resonate, then I would say you are a person who has you have plenty of everything. So you are in a state of gratitude. I feel like, and what you're probably realizing, the more you show the universe and your team, your spirit team, how grateful you are, and you know the benefits of gratitude, the more they're blessing you with, right? I see a lot of goals and dreams coming into fruition because you're finally sort of leveling up. Money is on the way. Like if it's not already upon you, it's on the way. Like I see lots of big streams of income coming your way. So it could be new work. It could be like a business idea taking off. But you are very beautiful, and I honestly think for a lot of you, your beauty, your vessel intimidates many. Your intelligence as well. All right, so let's jump into it. If that resonates, then this is your pile. Too many. What intimidates people? Why are people intimidated by pile number 3? Ooh. Okay. So we have the Ace of Cups, the Judgment reversed, 2 of Wands, the Magician, and Queen of Coins. So we've got water element here. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. Judgment is Scorpio. 2 of Wands, it's a fire sign, maybe Aries. Magician, so Mercury and Venus planets is aligned with the Magician. So what's that? Gemini, Virgo, and Taurus and Libra. Okay, and then what was that? Queen of Pentacles, Capricorn, and a splash of Sag. What's wrong? Come on. Alrighty, so let's get into it. Don't do that. As the camera moves for everyone, and okay. You just lay down over here. Yeah. Go and lay there. Go on, lay. Sorry guys, Ace of Cups. Let me just check the camera. It's all right. Okay. Okay. Just let me do this. All right, lay down there. Good girl. They like watching you anyway. Okay. All right, so Ace of Cups in regards to what makes you intimidating. Right, so spirituality is heavily linked with the Ace of Cups, somebody being highly intuitive as well. But creativity is another aspect of the Ace of Cups. So there's a mixture of things affiliated with the Ace of Cups as to why people would be intimidated by you. But intimacy is really calling out for me. I think you're very emotionally available, and this intimidates people. When this intimidation kicks in is when people are intimate with you. So if you wonder why after you are intimate with somebody, they may ghost you, run away from you, don't commit with you, it's because you're too emotionally available for them and they're emotionally dysfunctional, fucked in the head. That's probably the easiest way of saying that. But you may, after being intimate with people, put them on a path of an emotional awakening, like a spiritual awakening as well. And this freaks people out. So it's not just intimidation. There is this fear around your spirituality. I think you crack the heart chakras open in people, and this freaks them out. I feel like it's more about a freak out as opposed to intimidation. Your ability to express your emotions and how you feel and how things make you feel intimidates people with this Ace of Cups. And the reason why that is because most people hide their feelings. Most people don't have the courage or the balls to express how they feel about people. You wear your heart out on a golden platter and you have no issues explaining how you feel. And this could be in the workplace, with friends, you know, and this is something people are very intimidated by. Your intuition ability, your intuitive ability is very intimidating as well. I feel like your spirituality and your intuition intimidates people, like in a nutshell, I guess, with the Ace of Cups. I think people fall in love with you very easily with the Ace of Cups, and this intimidates them as well. Like they can't understand like why they sort of fall head over heels for you. I also feel because after you be intimate with people, they can't repress their emotions, and that intimidates them because they're not used to being able to express their feelings. So once you've sort of, I guess, invoked some form of sexual healing in that transaction or in that experience, it intimidates them because they can't control their emotions. It's sort of like I see somebody running to the top of a mountain and screaming like I love you from the rooftops, like, or the top of a building, and these people, they've never been in that energy before. So it's really intimidating. Your love is intimidating. How you shower people with love intimidates them. Yeah, so hopefully I feel like there's something about love here. Maybe how quickly they fall in love with you is really intimidating as well here. This cat. Alrighty, so then we'll move to Judgment in reverse in regards to what makes you intimidating. I just feel like in the reverse, it'll talk about self-doubt, somebody being indecisive and self-loathing. So it just makes me feel like people are intimidated by you because you stand true in your convictions. Like you know who you are and what you represent, and that intimidates people. Like you always act from a place of love, right? We see that with the Ace of Cups, and this intimidates people because when you come up against people like you, Pile 3, who are always acting in a high vibrational energy field, like you don't go out of your way to ruin somebody's day. You stay in your own lane, you mind your own business, and this intimidates people because you don't need to use other people to get ahead. You don't need to use other people's misery to feel better. Like you're very content in who you are. Like you're so abundant in what you have acquired and what you will acquire. And this definitely intimidates people, I believe. Like you know how to learn from experience and lessons. So I kind of feel like what intimidates people is like you've experienced a lot of different scenarios, people, characters, personalities, and this intimidates people because they can't come at you the same way somebody else has come at you. So if there is a group of people and they're all trying to run game or something on you, like say there's a group of guys, right, and they want to try and pursue you romantically. They know what intimidates them is like they know that they can't come at you the same way, you know, Billy came at you because you didn't fall for Billy's shit. Do you know what I mean? Or like Roger then comes along and shoots his shot with you and you're like, ooh, Roger. Like, does that make sense? So I feel like your ability to learn from lessons and to learn behaviors and learn people's tactics intimidates people because they can't try and manipulate you. And we heavily see this with the Magician card. It reiterates what I will say here. Like, you know how to pick somebody out of a crowd who's manipulative and, well, like a bit of, well, a complete fuckwit. So we see that with the intuitive abilities that you have. And this intimidates people. So I'm interested, what environment are you in at the moment? Are you in like a work environment where there's a lot of potential suitors, or just a lot of like bored individuals? Like maybe it's university, but you may have a lot of sexual attention around you is what I feel. Some of you may not be aware of that, and that is news to you. So the Two of Wands as intimidation. Although, like, I think about Two of Wands and it talking about somebody taking risks and leaving their comfort zone, right? And I kind of get the impression, once you guys, what makes you intimidating is once you've planned your first steps, you've made a decision, you're happily to take risks and leave your comfort zone, and you always land on your feet. It always leads you down the path of abundance. And this makes people intimidated of you because you're not afraid of risks. I see the Fool in my third eye. So I feel like what makes you intimidating, or why people get intimidated by you, is because you don't follow the status quo. You're so unique and you're very original. There's nobody around like you. You're very different, and you make money in the most peculiar ways, I'm hearing, and that intimidates people because you can, it's like every Midas touch, right? You can touch things that will turn into gold, where, like, you know, they'd have to be slaving away for years and years to try and acquire the abundance you have. So I feel like why people get intimidated by you is because you're not afraid to take risks. You're not afraid to leave your comfort zone. You're not afraid to be fish out of water. These people, I feel, who get intimidated by this, they don't handle change well, right? So they've probably never traveled like out of their country, maybe out of their town. The idea of like, considering a change probably freaks them out, whereas you invite change. I feel with this Two of Wands, people get intimidated by the fact that you don't fear change, right? You like taking things to the next level. You're really big on planning and future planning as well. I think people find that intimidating because when you're planning for the future, say if you've got plans like a 5-year plan or a 2-year plan, I feel like that makes people intimidated of you because you are fucking certain of yourself, pile 3. Like, you know who you are and where the fuck you're going. And meanwhile, they're over here fucking lost in Daisyland thinking they don't even know where they're going tomorrow, right? So they're obviously in a very insecure, unstable sort of environment or part of their life. So they're intimidated by you, somebody like you who's got career and financial planning. You're great with decision making. You know how to weigh up your options. And more importantly, you know how to take the first step towards your goals and your dreams, right? A lot of people don't know how to do that. They just want their goals and dreams to come knocking on their front door. And that's not you. You go after your goals and your dreams. And I really love that about you guys. So the Magician in reverse, I would definitely have to say, like, on the back end of that goals and dreams. So the Magician in reverse can talk about unable to manifest or attract goals in their dreams or anything into fruition. So what makes you intimidating is the fact that you can do that, right? You can manifest and attract whatever it is you want. Whatever kind of abundance you want, you'll get. And people find that very magical, right? They probably find it very witchy and kind of creepy, and they don't understand it. Like, you say, hey, I'm going to go and buy a house, and then bam, you've brought a house, and people are like, what the fuck? How does that even happen? Like, when did they even have the money to buy the house? That kind of vibe, okay? House could be like extreme goal there, but it could be just like, I'm going to go buy, a push bike, and then bam, you've got it. It's like, well, you don't even seem like you had enough, you earn enough to buy a push bike like that. Hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. But coming back to this manipulative energy I was talking about before, you intimidate people because they can't manipulate you. When you click on that somebody's trying to manipulate you, that intimidates them because you catch them out on it. And actually I'm hearing you call them out on it with that Judgment card. You're not afraid to speak your mind and call people out for their bad behavior. So when a manipulative fuckwit is coming at you, I feel like you stop them in their tracks, and this creates a level of intimidation. You know, I feel like these people around you, they don't manifest the right things for them, so their manifestations never come into fruition. You're probably fully aware of this with that intuition that you portray. And then to close out your reading with the Queen of Pentacles, she's upright. I would have to say what people find intimidating about you is how down to earth you are. You're not fake. There's not a fake bone in your body. You're very practical, you're very nurturing. What you see is what you get. You're the same person behind closed doors as you are in public. So many people on this planet, who they are in groups of people is not who they are behind closed doors. You may actually find some people can be really nice out in public, but as soon as they're home with their family, turn into complete utter fucking psychos, right? Abusers. And that's the sort of vibe I'm picking up. So you intimidate people because they can't fool you. They can't floor you on anything. Like, you are just genuinely a good-hearted person. So the intimidation there is the fact that they can't taint your reputation. And when you can't taint a person's reputation, like, that's intimidating. It's like, especially for a person who literally was born to just be a complete fuckwit, who was literally born to walk around and try and be the biggest manipulative cunt on the planet, right? Those people get intimidated by people like you, Pile 3, because the more they come for you, the more abundant you become. The more they come for you, the more confident you come. The more security, the more protection the universe offers you. And they can see it. They're trying to come for you. They're trying to get you fired. They're trying to, create conflict with the people in your life. And it always backfires on them. And that creates this level of intimidation. You're very good in business and you're very good at work. You're very successful. This creates a lot of intimidation for you or for around you. There is this level of material security. So you could have a home and a nice car and you have financial independence. People are intimidated by that. I feel like that intimidation is probably more surrounding potential suitors. So when you go out on dates and you're like, they might like, I don't feel like you're a boasting type of person, but like when people soon realize what you obtain material-wise, they become very intimidated, especially suitors, because they're like, well, fuck, especially if you're a woman, they're like, well, how am I going, what have I got to fucking offer Pile 3 if they've already got all of this? Okay, best not to waste your time with those sorts of people because they end up being toxic. People are intimidated by your wealth, right? Your success. If whatever organization, company you work for, that could intimidate people. So whatever you do for work could be intimidating. Like people might be like, what the fuck? How does Pile 3 do that? Like that's scary, or like that's a really high profile position, something like that. But I think you guys are great. You should be proud of where you are in life, keep it moving. And yeah, that's what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye.